Hey everyone, and welcome to your bonus episode of the Atomic Cinema Experiment.
Woo! You made it. You get the prize.
You get the prize. We're here to deliver your prize. And what is your prize? It's a concoction that only me and Tara could come up with together.
Mm.
It's nasty, it's overblown, and it'll leave a bad taste in your mouth. But you know what?
Sticky.
You'll love it anyway. Do you know what? I realised I almost made it sound sexual. I was going to try and get away from it, and then you jumped in with sticky, and I'm like, all right, fine. I guess we're just going
Sticky's
with it.
still gross.
Yeah, because sexy stuff can never be gross. Like,
Do you ever grab a dish or something that you think is clean and it's got a sticky film on it? You're like,
first, I really thought you were going to say, do you ever grab a dick?
No, dish. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Yes, I have done that, yes. Especially if I've had like the sticky sweet chili sauce or something on the plate, and then you touch it and it's like, Although,
Gross.
I would still take that over the grease of like if you've had like a chicken on a plate and you have the grease.
oil?
Yeah. The oily grease is the worst. Because your hand never, you have to wash your hand like 5 times before it feels clean.
And that's what our show is.
We went from unintentionally phallic to actual phallic to dishes and oil. That's what happened in the first minute of this show. I hope you appreciate it, folks. If you're listening to this or watching this, it's because you're a $1 or up patron of ours on patreon.com/MailFuzzTV for here at MailFuzzTV. And we love you loads for that. And because of that, you get to hear and see us talk about a film. Now, I want to just set up the context for this film a little bit and how we stumbled across it. We were actually going to do another film for the bonus this month. We had picked one out. I won't tell you what it is because we'll probably end up doing it next month.
We'll probably do it next time. Yeah.
But as I was on, because it turned out it was on Amazon Prime, and as I was browsing Amazon Prime, looking at the movie, I was like, oh, it's on Amazon Prime. That's nice and handy. It saves me having to hunt down a rental or whatever. And it says customers who like this also liked or recommended because you're looking at this. And there was a movie there. There was a poster and a title that I could not ignore. I could not look past it. And I happened to be talking to Tara because we were talking about what we were doing for the bonus at that moment, and that's why I was looking at it. And I said, "Hey Tara, there's this other movie here.
Check this out.
Check this movie. What do you think Robo Vamp is?" And I sent her the poster.
It's just a blatant RoboCop ripoff. The poster is.
Yep. It's a RoboCop ripoff, and we got to talking about, it's a foreign movie, they get away with a lot of things. But I said, just based on my knowledge from other bad movie shows that review bad movies and things, I will bet you anything it doesn't actually look like that in the movie. It will look much worse. So I went and just Googled for a screenshot of what this looks like in the movie, and I sent that image to Tara, and she immediately says, we have to do this
instead.
Yes, can we do this for the bonus this month? We have to do this right now. And so I said, sure, because I'm a team player. And let's be honest, what Tara wants, Tara gets. I don't argue because it's a futile battle.
Indeed.
So
it is my show after all.
Go on, say the thing from Captain Phillips. Go on, just say it. Get it out of the way.
I'm the captain now.
There you go. It's
Look
done.
at me. I'm the captain now.
So this is a movie called Robo Vampire, which is a cheap Italian movie, and we're going to talk about it. And we watched this a few days ago. Usually we watch the movie the day of or the night before. We watched this together at the weekend because it felt like that sort of movie. It's very much of Mystery Science Theater.
It felt like Mystery Science Theater, yeah.
It's very much of that quality, and it's such a weird little stupid movie that I felt the need to actually note down things.
I'm so glad because there's so much that happens and I forgot it all.
And it's about a page and a half of A4 paper of notes because I knew that I wouldn't remember it all. I just knew I wouldn't. So hopefully as we go through my notes, I'll understand what these mean because some of them are a little bit vague.
A little cryptic?
And they're just supposed to be triggers, but I'm hoping as we go through the plot, we'll understand what we're talking about. So that's the plan. And hey, you know what? This is your bonus episode. You're getting a wacky one.
Mhm.
This is
And if you
definitely.
like our review, or if you want to watch it first, it's on YouTube for free.
Yeah, that's where we watched it. It was on YouTube. It was
Yeah.
also on Amazon Prime, but it was also on YouTube.
Mhm.
So I guess without further ado,
Robo Vampire.
Robo Vampire. And there was a question going into this actually. It was like, well, is it more of a horror movie with a robot in it, or is it more of a sci-fi movie with a vampire in it? And
It
the
turns out
answer.
it's a kung fu movie. Do not expect that.
I could have said it better myself. Um, so where to begin? So my first note, I'm actually just going to read out my notes, and we're going to try and decrypt this as we go. That's what this episode is going to be
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I don't
The
remember.
plot is impossible.
Yeah. So my first note, and I believe this is a daytime scene. I think there was like soldiers, looking for the vampires. Which, by the way, in this movie, vampires can go out in the daytime. It's not a big deal. So my first
And they've forgotten how to walk.
Yes. My first note is simply hopping vampire.
They're bunnies.
They stick their hands out like they're zombies and they hop. They move by hopping, both feet at the same time. So they're hopping bunnies. There's bunny hopping going around. And they don't actually suck blood like a vampire. They bite chunks out like they're zombies.
Like
But
ghouls, yeah.
yeah, but they're also controllable. Like the bad guys like kind of can trigger them, and they're also tied in with a drug smuggling plot.
Yeah, I think they use the drugs to control the vampires.
Yeah, something like that. So I think the first thing we also have to say is that this was very obviously two different movies that were
Oh,
taped
yeah.
together. Because other than a couple of references to the drugs, which was probably just like dubbed in later, nothing connects the two plots. But we start with the
Absolutely
vampire.
nothing.
There is actually a pretty over the top, stupid looking bite in this scene where one of them bites like a big chunk out of like a neck or something like that. Because
It looks good, though.
yeah, it looks surprisingly decent for what the movie was. Because my note just says bite chunk. Um, my second note is crotch burn.
Crotch burn. I don't remember this.
I think so. A guy comes in to like sort of look after the vampires, and then his boss comes in, but he ends up fighting like
Mm.
someone or the vampire, and he gets burned in the crotch and flies across the.
Right, because I think they're supposed to they're like caretakers of vampires, but they weren't
Yes,
supposed to wake them, but
yes,
they did.
as
And
you,
so they had to fight them off.
as you do, as you do. And then my
Yeah.
next note is just kung fu exclamation point.
There's so much kung fu. It
Lot,
turns out it's a kung fu movie. I mean, who knew from the title?
yeah. There's, there's
Um,
there's flipping. There's a lot of kung fu sound effects. There's, you
all the
know,
vampires are able to do kung fu without walking.
yes, yes. I was going to say it actually cuts away from this. There's a scene which I think is actually more connected to the other movie plot, which is I'll just put down drugs in cow. There's a scene where they're stuffing bags of drugs in a dead cow.
Oh yeah, that's disturbing actually.
Yeah, that's
I
that's
didn't like that
disturbing.
scene.
Well, the reason why it's disturbing in a movie like this is because it's such a shitty low budget movie. Is you know it's a real cow. They did not like make a cow for this,
No,
so that kind of
they don't
sucks.
have the no animals were harmed in the making of this movie.
Yeah. I mean, theoretically, they could have just found it, like bought a cow that was already dead,
You think so?
went to a farm and said, "Okay, what cow's getting put down soon? Can we take it?" Well, we probably have to pay for it still, because I mean, they're effectively ruining the meat and stuff by like not having them process it and whatever. But you know,
It's a gross scene. I do not approve.
for anyone who doesn't know, Tara's vegan, which I think is really a big thing here.
I'm also
Um,
just against animal cruelty, which I think you are too.
Oh, I am. Yeah, I have never seen Cannibal Holocaust because I don't want to see the animal cruelty. Although I might one day watch the cut that the director himself did, where he took all that out, because he said that he regretted it. Like, you know, later on he looked back and went, you know what, I should never have had that in the movie or never have took part in that. So
I
he
didn't know that was a thing.
so he made an official cut of the movie, a director's cut by him that removes it all, and it's his. You know, so you can get the experience without the the scenes of like snakes and stuff being hurt.
Oh, yeah. That's unfortunate.
Although to be honest, if an animal's going to get hurt, though, I'm okay with it being a snake.
No, not me.
Snakes.
I
No.
don't even like it when they squish bugs in movies.
Do you not squish flies and
No.
moths? No.
I always avoid it. I take spiders out by like carrying them outside.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet. That's sweet. I don't have the patience for it. Um, I turn into Rambo when there's a moth in the house. I'm like, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it.
Surprised your cats don't take care of it. Isn't that what they're for?
Those three little idiots just stare at it. They don't even move. They just kind of like,
Yeah, my cat doesn't do anything either.
what are you here for, you dumb cats?
Earn your rent.
Yes. The next note I have here is "you witch!" exclamation point, and then dead bodies into vampires, and then I've also noted down with a little dash saying "nipple witch," and
Yes.
I believe that was because you pointed out we could see her nipples through her top because Tara was paying close attention to the breasts in the movie, as you
I
could see.
mean, you couldn't not see it. She was wearing like a lace thing.
You legitimately noticed it before I did.
I doubt that.
No, you did. You did. Right. So you're probably saying, what's this witch though? What's going on here? Well, I'll try and explain the best I can. This woman at the place where the vampires are, this woman in like a white like silk or whatever like gown shows up and has like magic powers and can like spin and fly and do kung fu and starts fighting the guy who's in charge of the zombie or the vampires, like the main bad guy in this plot.
This part of the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Because
half.
she's upset that her loved one was killed or whatever. She wants him to be turned into a vampire. So we actually have her boyfriend be turned into a vampire, but she makes a deal with him to for this to happen. Maybe not in this scene, but it happens at some point. The next note I have.
I think the deal is that she'll let them be together if and get married if she can use her powers to control the vampire for his gain
Yes.
because she has the ability to control him. Otherwise, he's just too, I don't know,
Yes.
rambunctious. He
Um,
fights everybody.
So then my next note, I have no idea what this came from, but it's a quotation just saying, "May the devil protect me."
Yeah, I think the guy in charge of the vampires is the
Okay,
one that says it. Yeah,
that sounds
as like a prayer.
that sounds right. Oh, and then we find out that the vampire boyfriend's named Peter, which just annoyed me for obvious reasons.
Mm.
Um,
And he looks like a bear or something. He looks like an
that's
animal.
right. That's right. He's got like a mask or something on. Um,
Gorilla, maybe?
there's a point here when they're like fighting or whatever, where the vampire gets spun through the air, but it's actually a dummy, and it's a really obvious dummy,
Yeah.
and it looks really really silly. Um, but yeah, there is like both obey me wedding. Yeah, I actually had more notes for this scene. I thought these were moving on to different things, but yes, I think that was describing the. He's like, you will both obey me if you want to get married, and she
Yeah.
agrees.
That's the deal. Never
Um,
make a deal with a witch.
yeah. So there's a scene after this where a group of vampires attack some soldiers in like a bush or something, and this scene taught us a lot about how the vampires operate in this movie. Here's my notes for this. I've got three things with question marks: daytime vampires,
Mm-hmm.
steam, fireworks.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They have like magic. Like they can point fingers and like steam comes out.
Yeah, like most of them just like point their hands out and like steam comes out and hits them. But the
But
one,
the main vampire,
yeah, the Peter
the one
vampire,
that's got the gorilla mask.
yeah, he shoots fireworks out and it is the most ridiculous. What is this movie? Like I hope us trying to decipher my notes is making for a fun episode because you're not getting like critical thinking out of this one. You're getting, what is this mess? Maybe it'd
No.
maybe it'd be fun to watch it on YouTube along with this on another monitor, and just kind of follow along. So yeah, we get this scene with the vampires. So here's the bizarre thing, right? Like up until this point, we're actually mostly still in the one plot. It doesn't really go to the other plot, which is purely just like a drug kingpin kidnapping someone plot. We haven't really
Mm-hmm.
gotten to that yet, I don't think. At least if we have, I've not taken any notes down for those scenes. Um, so after this scene where the vampires attack these soldiers and or cops, we cut to two other soldiers just talking to each other, and one of them says, "Well, Johnson's dead. Let's turn him into an android then." Just so
I know. There's no
nonchalant,
like asking permission from his family, or next of kin, or
or establishing that like they have the ability to make an android, or
yeah,
like
like let's just turn him into an android.
yeah, like they just do it, and they've got some really goofy props. There's like a big like machine that's got like a positive and negative sign on it that flashes one or the other. And the reason
Right.
why I remember that is because I kept cracking jokes about him being pregnant. Oh god. So let's make an android. And this is when we cut definitely to the other plot, because we go to a house of God, and we get a bit of a shootout. This is a house of God lady. The guy says, but we meet this laughing villain. So there's this villain who's always smiling
Mm.
and kind of like chewing the scenery with his laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Who will soon become to be known as Laffy Rapey Man, which is what we called him for the rest of it once he did his thing, which
That's right.
as you can guess involved rape. Um, so yeah, so there was a stupid shootout scene here where there was diving out the windows. It just kind of sprung out of nowhere, from what I recall. Madness.
There's
But
a strong female lead that we get introduced to, and then she immediately becomes weak.
yeah, she's like shooting, she's like saving the men, and then she immediately becomes weak when she's captured and then is raped. Like that is like it's one of those
Yeah.
seedy things about these like cheap Italian movies that a lot of them have this kind of thing in it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, is this going to be a snuff film?
Yeah, yeah, you're worried about it. Like, I'll be
Yeah.
honest, I was relieved it cut away when he started to rape her. Like, because
Yeah.
there was a chance that it might be a long drawn out scene where we'd have to watch her scream for 10 minutes. There was a possibility of
Right.
that happening. Um, so
80s Italian movie. Probably. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, which by the way, I checked the year. This came out a year after RoboCop.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they were probably making a vampire movie and then decided, hey, that RoboCop movie made a lot of money.
Well, here's the weird thing though. It's not like the vampires and the robot are in the separate plots. They're in the same plot. It's the other plot that's just this kidnapping story. That's the separate movie
Yeah, I guess that's true.
because they never
All the drug
intersect.
stuff.
Yeah. The only thing that connects them that they try to connect it with is the drugs, and I do believe there's one villainous character who appears in both plots, but they never interact or connect in any other way.
Hmm.
I almost wonder if that actor just happened to be in both movies, so they used it to connect them.
Oh, maybe.
Because yeah, it's weird. So yeah, laughing villain man. I did want to point out though that there was a trend at this point where we kept getting characters' names after they've had a prominent scene already. Where as if like they refer to them
Right.
as if we already knew who they were. Like I'm sure Peter was that way, where they just bring him up after he's already dead. It's like Peter's
That is
dead.
the case
Yeah,
because I did remember his face after,
because
or like after the scene.
they say Peter's died. We should turn him into an android, and I'm like, oh, you mean the death of like the guy who's going to be the main character? Do you think we should have maybe known his name before he died and had his big
Right?
accident? You know?
There's something that connects us to his human side
Yeah.
before he becomes machine.
And again, it happened again with the female character here, where we found out her name after she was essentially kidnapped. It was weird. Like they kept doing this. So yeah. So we go back to the vampire plot where the vampires. Wait, have we had the robot formation yet? Did I not take a note down for that? I might not have done.
Robot formation?
Yeah, when they make
Or like
him,
where he becomes the
and
robot?
yeah, and he comes out and
Oh yeah, he's got a chin strap on. We could talk about the suit.
we
I mean,
should.
the suit is just like a jumpsuit with like pillows taped onto him that are silver colored. And he
Yeah,
wears a helmet with a chin strap so that you know that it's secure.
yeah, but the chin strap like is never actually in the middle of his chin. It's always off to one
It's always
side.
moving around.
Yeah. And it
There's
looked.
one scene that's like covering his mouth.
And I remember when we did the day the Earth stood still. We said that Gort the robot in that was a cool design, but did look a little bit soft than what he should do
Mhm.
for metal. This is like no, this looks like a puffy jacket he's wearing. This is like the most
Yeah.
cheap looking, ridiculous thing ever. And he has um, like on top of the helmet, they've put like a samurai's like kind of helmet like over top of it. It's got like the flap at the back.
Yeah, it's got like a shielding thing
Yeah.
on the back of his neck, like a samurai helmet.
But the best part about this is that they still give him all the sound effects of like a robot, where it's like zhoots, zhoots. Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny.
He's no Peter Weller, but he's got some decent robot moves.
So I'll call him the B villain with the long hair, the one who's in both plots. He is like being targeted by
Oh,
cops.
Dyatlov.
Yeah, because he looked kind of like Dyatlov from Chernobyl. That's right. That's right. Dyatlov. He gets like confronted by some soldiers, and again, I think they're actually just cops, but like they're dressed more like soldiers. Like I don't know what the continuity in this world is for the law
Yeah, it's hard to
enforcement.
tell.
But basically, he's confronted on a beach, and he basically just like calls in the vampires, and they just kind of appear out of a puff of smoke on the beach.
Yeah, vampires in this world can appear and disappear whenever they want. They can go invisible, and they all know kung fu, and they can only hop when they move.
Yeah, yeah,
Plus the steam and fireworks. And I
yeah,
guess eventually they'll turn into some kind of man bear pig.
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. We introduced some other characters here. The brother of the girl who was kidnapped is introduced in a scene where the good characters, the team that's been assembled to go and rescue her, is on a boat in the river, and they're being attacked by others, and the brother just fires a rocket at the boat because my note says rocket boat and then dash Andy because his name's Andy.
I don't
Uh,
remember that scene.
I'm struggling with this next one. It says arm wrestling and then quotation, "You come with me." Do you remember this scene?
No. I don't remember.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember what that scene is. I think. Do you know what I think it might be? I think it's them recruiting another one. I think there's like multiple scenes of them recruiting some of their team to go and save. Uh,
Some more mercenaries.
yeah, whatever her name is. Because remember, there's like a scene where they go to like a village and these two guys start fighting. And it's this big bar fight, and it turns out to be like these two guys are their teammates
Yeah.
and whatever.
Okay, yeah. I remember that scene.
Yeah. Uh, what the hell is this? Not kill. This is a quotation. Kill them all, fire. Oh, kill them all, fire. I think that's what it might be. That was maybe. Um, yeah. So yeah, Andy's sister's Wendy, blah blah, and this is the beach fight now.
Really wish I could help.
Yeah, this is the beach fight now, right? Because this is the scene where the vampires are there. The Atlovs like summoned them, and there is a rocket involved again, but the in walks for his first big like scene with the villains, right? Where we get to see what you know.
Laughing rapey villain?
No. He's not in this. Plus, this is the vampires, and I'm just trying to think of what you call this RoboCop character.
Peter.
I don't know. Fine. So he comes, robotically in, and we get a scene where he faces off against the vampires. And I actually found a gif of this moment and sent it to Tara like almost immediately, like after we finished watching it. Basically, the 3 or 4 vampires hop around in a circle in like a circular formation with the robot in the middle, and that's what they do until they finally attack. But as I've noted down here, sparks in the face, rebounding.
Oh yeah,
They
because
try,
he's
yeah,
a robot now.
they
So
they fire fireworks at him and they just rebound. So what are you gonna
his
do?
weapons are useless against him.
Yeah,
But he has a really great strategy for taking down the vampires. Because at first he's overwhelmed, and then he
yes,
realizes, wait, if I just fire straight, eventually they'll just bounce right into my bullets.
yeah. And so we have the scene where they get 2 people, these 2 recruits, and then I've got a note that just says "no" means yes. I assume that must be the rape scene.
Mm, no, I think it's another scene. Oh boy. I really should have done this like right away after we watched the movie. I can't even remember anything that happened.
No means yes. The spring. The
Look
spring.
at you.
The
Have you ever done this for a movie before?
I've taken notes before. I mean, I did Blood Diner with Tim. I did this, but I could remember that much better than this with my notes.
Probably because I had a plot that was like at least went from A to B.
To a point, yeah. It was just full of a lot of silly stuff. Whereas this is so nonsensical, it's hard to like.
This is just, yeah. I mean, it's definitely two movies that converged into one, but it might be like more. It's just scenes. Like nothing
Yeah.
makes sense in this movie.
This next one's a good one though. I've
Oh,
put sexy scene question mark witch slash hairy vamp. But then the best part of this, because they're
oh,
rolling
I
around
remember
together,
this.
right?
Yeah.
They're rolling around together, and then in walks either the vampire ruler or whoever he is, or no, it's the robot. The robot shows up.
Yep.
I think. I don't know. Someone shows up and says they have to do something, and they say, or she says, the witch says, "Kill us, but wait until we have consummated our love first."
Right. Like, sure, we'll die, but wait until after we have sex.
Yeah, this was just some of the dialogue in this was really like, wait,
Some.
what are we doing now? Oh, madness, madness. Um, okay, next we
We get a
have.
great, fight though. I mean, we get to see the witch flying around.
That's
Um,
true. That's true. Yeah, the witch flies
that's
around
fine.
and fights the robot, and the robot kind of does okay, I guess. Because there's the one point where the robot gets messed up, and they have to take him back and repair him, which they do. But he looks the exact same. Like I thought, oh, he's gonna get a better suit now or a different suit. Because
Yeah, it's gonna get an upgrade.
no, it looked the exact same. He's the worst. Although there was a moment in this where the robot has a flashback, um, and it's basically like a scene where he's breaking up with someone, and she's like, "As long as you're a cop, I can never, I can never be with you." And they basically shot in a place where there's like one neon sign behind them to make it look like a city. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah, but it looked like they were on a beach, and then she's in like a totally different location.
yeah, so here I remember this though. It after this it cuts to Dyatlov, who immediately just starts a shootout. I remember like being like, what?
Mm.
What happened? Why is it a shootout? Who started this shootout? What's going on?
Yeah, that's how I was the entire film.
I don't know. I don't know. Um, but this is the scene where it ends up because they're shooting, the humans, right? The team that are coming to try and rescue, the kidnapped girl. But here's the thing: so the kidnapped girl, so there's people coming for her. But how did the villains know to like send like Dyatlov and his men like after them? Like this is weird. But we end up where like at one point to get away from the fire, one of the guys grabs like the sister, or one of the other characters into what is essentially like a random skylift, like it's just out there over a ravine. And of course, the guy with the rocket launcher just fires the rocket at the skylift, so they have to jump
hmm
out. Oh,
It's a cool scene though, because I mean, it's not special effects. Like they actually blew it up, and people had to jump out of it before they blew it up.
I guess. I mean,
Yeah, it's all in one like frame, like one shot.
I guess it's the most impressive moment in the movie.
It
But
is.
the two people
That's
who
like their budget for sure.
the two people
And they could have
oh,
killed people.
the two people who escaped into that and jumped out the lift though are captured by the bad guys, so they actually end up being in the same cell as the kidnapped girl.
hmm
Um, but the rescue basically amounts to like kicking the big guy in the face. There's a big guy who comes in and like torments her, and they kick him in the face. I
This
have
movie's bananas.
I know I have no idea what my next note means. It says why we stop question mark death.
I don't think I could translate this for you.
I have no idea what I meant by that. I have no idea what I
Oh
meant.
boy.
I am tempted to get it up and actually just look through the movie at some point during this review to try and clarify some issues we're having. Um, so yeah, uh, Robo levitate.
He levitates?
Yeah, I think the witch makes him levitate.
Oh boy, I think the witch is dead at this point.
No, she's not dead because she's not done the scene where she takes her top off to give her more power. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This movie may have actually been too bad to do an episode on because it's
I think so.
impossible. It's impossible to remember what the hell happened in it.
Oh my god.
Oh, I can swear. This is a bonus episode. We can swear on the bonus episodes. Yeah, this is fucking nuts. I don't even. And Tara's sitting there realizing that she's dropped f bombs occasionally on other episodes that she shouldn't have, and she's feeling guilty about it.
I'm sorry.
The fill mouth one of the two. Not to worry.
Me?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm salty. I used to be in the Navy. I'm allowed to be salty. Yeah, I've got the movie on my phone right now.
And then, so somehow, what happens next is that we switch locations where, like, he's chasing, I think, the witch through the streets of a city. Like, we're somehow all, like, every location in this movie has been like one like building or one house or hut or cabin surrounded by forest, or they've all been desolate locations, and all of a sudden they turn around a corner from this building that we're in, and they're in the city. And I my note here just says Robo takes Manhattan.
Oh yeah. So there's a scene where he's chasing the main vampire guy through a bridge, and it's the most slow chase ever
Oh, that's
because the vampire is like hopping the whole time.
my next
And
note.
he's just doing his slow walk, and it takes forever for him to actually shoot him.
Yeah, I noted down that stuff, and it felt like he was teleporting because he was going so far, and I'm like, just shoot him from there, because at one point he like stops and turns around to shoot. I'm like, why didn't you just do that at the start of the bridge? Why did you have to walk all the way across the bridge and then turn around? He was going slow. My favorite part was
going so slow, but they still know so much like fast kung fu.
Best part of it though is that there's no one on the bridge the entire way. This long chasing across, but the minute he turns round to shoot at him, there's a sudden family with kids like right behind the vampire. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Oh jeez. Ring around the robot. That's my next note. I assume he's jumping around them.
Yeah. They're playing Ring Around the Android.
Yep. So which plays airplane with Vamp Master boobs attack? she makes him fly through the air like an airplane, and then she has more power and more projectile power if she exposes her breasts. That's what I got from this scene.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah. I think that's what the director was trying to say. I mean, it's maybe it's not that she has more power, but it's that it weakens everyone else around because they have to look at it.
Oh, you're saying this is just a simple distraction tactic?
Yes. Yeah.
Like boobs, boobs, titties, tatty bojangles.
Any more?
Lungs, jugs.
It's all right.
Bee stings if you're quite small.
That's okay.
I'm trying to think of more words for
all sizes welcome.
Sure, yeah, I have no judgment. Small boobs could be great boobs. No judgments from me. I do enjoy that joke though, calling them bee stings. I think that's pretty funny. I think I'm out. I think that's all the ones that I'm well, not that I use all those regular. It's very rare you'll hear me say the word titties.
Me too.
Tatty bojangles, though, I do enjoy that phrase. It's a nice word.
That's a first for me. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Lovely jubblies, that's another one.
Lovely jubblies.
Okay. So boobs attack. That was that. Circle vampires again for the fourth time in the movie. They jump around in a circle, all in unison, jumping around the robot. And for some reason, the robot just like doesn't change aim. He just keeps firing into the same location. Basically, he's waiting for them to get into his line of like firing, and just keeps firing the gun. But they still keep just jumping in the circle until each one of them, one by one, is hit and shot.
It's a brilliant strategy.
Brilliant. And then it actually comes up saying the end. So I've written down the end. What is this movie? Do you know the funny thing is we actually, I don't have many, like we mentioned there was two plots. But I'm realizing, having read through those, like I took no plot, no notes for the end of the saving the kidnapped person. In fact, that plot definitely had less
That
notes
plot
overall.
ends like 20 minutes before the rest of the movie does, though.
Yeah, because they storm this base as a team. Well, the people who are kidnapped are actually kind of getting out of their restraints anyway, and it's basically a
Mhm.
big shootout. And then there's one scene where Dyatlov says something like, "Oh, like, oh, there's other things going on with the drugs or something like that." It's like, okay, that's kind of connecting the two plots, but like all the characters who are there in the kidnap plot to go and save herself, none of those characters at all ever interact with a vampire or RoboCop, because you assume that the robot's going to end up saving the day early on. You're thinking, oh, that the robot's going to eventually save her. He never shows up at the scene. He's never in that plot ever.
Nope.
I
No,
don't.
he's never. Like it's such a bizarre like other film that you're watching.
It's weird, and I mean, it's still funny. Like, there's still funny elements. It's not as funny as the Robo Vampire stuff, though.
It's definitely my least favorite part of it. Because that one's more like grounded. There's not really any vampires or anything in it. It's just like
Yeah.
mercenaries are going to free this woman who was captured.
Yeah, that
Okay.
that guy, the villain who was always laughing though, like he did crack us up a little bit just because he always had this shitty
He's
grin.
always laughing.
He was always chuckling at everything.
Everything
Um,
made him laugh. Yeah.
yeah,
That's how you know he's evil.
evil. I just typed in Robo Evil and I went Robo Vampire. Come on, Robo Vampire.
Are you gonna watch the movie again right now?
Yeah, this has turned into an impromptu commentary track. Let's do it. I kid. No one get excited. There was a split second of audio that would have been caught on the recording there. I dealt with it as quickly as I humanly could, but here we are. Here we are. Uh,
So like,
this acting as well. Oh, look at that! This opening scene. The guy, the soldier, being chased by the vampire. Um,
did we know that they were vampires at that time? Are we still trying to figure it out?
I think we knew from the title, and we just assumed, or like I guess this is their vampires. You know, I guess it is. Um, this was an absurd experience. This is exactly the sort of movie that Mystery Science Theater would do. And I don't think they did, but I mean,
There's probably a riff tracks for it.
very possible. Oh, that costume, that mask. Oh my, guys,
What
seriously,
is it?
go to YouTube, and watch Robo Vampire.
Yeah, it's definitely worth watching.
Don't watch it alone though. Watch it with at least a friend.
Do not watch it alone. It's
Yeah.
one you want to share with your friends. I know we can't like figure out the plot or anything after we've watched it, and I mean, I'm guilty of not being able to do that anyway, but Peter is the master of it. So
Master. I
the
think
fact that he's not able to do it, it's a pretty good sign.
Tara, you flatter me, Master.
You're
Master.
welcome.
That's will always be the bonus episodes where it just descended into shouting out different words for tits for like a minute. Um,
Hey, you get what you pay for. This is $1 quality.
oh yeah, no, I can't argue with that. This is $1 quality. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, this has been a very different discussion because obviously normally we'll talk about the plot. We'll try and analyze the characters. We'll talk about you know just what works and what doesn't. But here's the thing: this movie doesn't work in any conceivable level, and it's not in a way that
No,
I can like. It's just a mess. It's
it's totally
nonsensical.
incoherent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we did is we went through a list of notes I took and just tried to remember and talk about how crazy each one was.
What scene was that? Who said that line?
It, yeah, I don't even know. Robo Vampire is a stupid, entertainingly stupid, but completely incoherent movie, and that is
Mm.
um because I mean we normally rate movies at the end of this show. I mean how do you rate
Does
this?
this deserve a rating?
Is it on the
Which movie
scale?
are we rating? Are we rating the A plot or B plot or
Hey, they give it to us as a package, so we rate it as a package. That's the rules.
all right.
So, I mean, I would say that I don't know.
How do you rate the bad ones?
Yeah,
I think it should be seen.
Should be seen.
I mean, you have to know. It's already going to be pretty low because there's animal cruelty. Although the dog does live. There's a dog in it, right?
Yeah.
That lives. Yeah. The dog didn't die. Thank goodness.
So what are you rating it?
I'm going to give it just on pure enjoyment value and bizarreness. I'm going to give it a 2.5.
2.5.
Pretty low.
I was a little bit worried you were going to like pick some sort of silly number there. No, I'm going to give
No.
it a 2 out of 10. It has no quality whatsoever to speak of, but I'll give it a 2 because it's at least funny bad, and it has like the awful costume. It has the funny vampires hopping around. Has the flying
boobies.
witch. You got the boobs, yeah. So it's the whole 9 yards of just weird bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty consistently entertainingly bad. Like there's not too many long stretches where like, it always gets back to the stupid
No, it
vampires.
doesn't like slow
Yeah,
down or anything, even though it's an hour and a half.
yeah. So you know, there you go, Robo Vampire.
There you go.
Uh,
Check it out at your own risk.
Yeah, this was a weird one. Like this might have been a terrible episode of this show. I'm not sure. That's because it's such an incoherent thing that we were struggling to remember.
Probably. I wouldn't listen to us.
Um, but like next month will be back to like a more normal movie. Although they always seem to be kind of dumb or schlocky in some way.
Yeah. And
Um,
we'll record it quickly after we watch it, probably the same day like we usually do. Not wait a
yes,
week.
yes. Well, it was a few days, but I think we had to watch this together because we took one look at this and went, you know what? No, we can't watch this alone. It's just not that sort of
No,
movie.
no, it's definitely not. Watch it with friends.
Yeah. So.
Watch it with a support group.
um, there you go. That's Robo Vampire. That's wanted it. Slightly shorter episode, so I mean, here have some small talk at the end. Have some bonus talk. Have some bonus talk. I mean, do you know what? I'll give them a serious little bonus bit of conversation here, right? Tara, it's been like I think at the time of recording this, we've recorded like 16 episodes of the main show, and this is the third bonus one. How is this? Like how are we feeling about the show right now? Like, and maybe the selection of movies overall. Do we feel like there's been enough variety? That kind of thing.
I'm surprised at the ones that are doing well.
Oh, the ones that are performing better, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Like the final countdown discussion, I thought nobody would listen to it because who's ever heard of that film? And it's like a 2-hour show. Why would anyone listen to 2 hours of us for a movie that's so obscure? But actually done pretty well.
Yeah. Sometimes you hit that sweet spot where it's just obscure enough that there's not enough content on it, so ours gets put pretty high in the list when it gets searched for.
That could be it.
That's what you can always hope for. I think we've had a very interesting variety. Obviously, we did Terminator, and that was kind of like that, and Day the Earth Stood Still. I think are the two biggest movies we've done so far.
Sure. Yeah, clearly.
It's probably worth like every 10 to 15 episodes doing a big movie. Because I think one of the traps that I fell into with Screams a little bit in picking movies is I was like, no, I don't want to burn through all the biggies like early. And it got to a point where we went like a year and a half of the show and we'd done almost no big films because I was just determined to save them. And I'm like, well, we should probably do one once in a while.
Yeah, definitely. I feel good about the movies that we've done so far.
Yeah.
We've had a pretty good variety of good and bad and
New and old.
mostly like mediocre. Yeah.
Some mediocre, some this and that.
New and old.
Yeah, and further, I think we'll maybe reveal this first. We're not at concrete plans, but there's a vague idea of doing maybe not quite to the same extent, but a sci-fi version of what we do in the streams for October. Not in October, obviously, because that would kill me. But having a sci-fi month where we do like extra episodes. And Tara was borderline on the idea, and then I said it'll be called Meltdown Month, and then our eyes lit up, and she's like, "No, we have to do it now because the name's perfect."
The guy did it. Yeah.
Like how many if we stop making Chernobyl jokes before then, when we get to Meltdown Month, they're coming back, baby. They're coming back.
Every like title screen is just going to be, or like thumbnail is just going to be a different meme.
So
I love that show. Let's just watch that for review Chernobyl for Meltdown Month.
That's a tough sell. It's a tough sell because it's not a movie and it's not sci-fi.
Oh, dang it.
As much as there is
We'll
some,
do it on the anniversary. On the anniversary of Chernobyl.
we'll just do a standalone on the Chernobyl thing. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll get on board. All right, we'll
Every
revisit
year we
Chernobyl.
review it.
Sure, why not? Why
See
not?
if our rating changes.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. No, I think we've did well with the show. Um. It's
I
a.
think yeah, I think the show's going okay. I don't know if we should keep the Mystery Science Theater thing because the shows are already kind of long. But we'll see. I mean, if people enjoy it, then we'll keep it. But
I
or
think
just do them like maybe less often.
people seem to enjoy them. I suppose one thing we could do is like record them separately and then put them onto the episodes that end up being shorter, like because the movie's not as interesting. So here have a
Mm.
bonus section. Um, no, I've been enjoying doing Mystery Science Theater, but I think the variety is good. I think what's interesting about this one is compared to the start of Screams is Screams, that was way back at the start of everything, and I was an idiot, and none of us knew what we were doing. The beautiful, dare I say, romantic chemistry that me and Tim have now, that developed over time. That wasn't just there at the start.
Yeah, it had to
So
blossom.
whereas I feel like this show started off in a different place because, well, you instantly were obviously like so like what's a good word for it? What's a stronger word than admire? You, you, you were already so
Whoa,
tied
whoa, whoa.
in to
I enjoyed your reviews. Okay.
But no, the point being is that I'm already experienced enough at the start of this that I think the quality is better to begin with, compared to
Yeah,
what Screams was at the
I'm
start.
like so inexperienced though. I think there are some episodes where you can really tell that like you're basically running the show and I'm like, yep. But I hope to get better,
Well, yeah, I
I'm
mean,
working on
if you want to be honest about that, like, yeah, sure, okay. Early on, like, sometimes I have to, not just with you either. This is like something I have to do sometimes with others, but, like, okay, not getting much back here, so I'll just kind of keep the
it.
conversation
Yeah.
flowing. Um, but like that's something that you deal with over time, and it's happening less often. It's less consistent, and you get more comfortable talking. The biggest thing is just getting comfortable talking on camera, and I was always comfortable with doing that. But there's a difference in my voice. If you go back to those early episodes of things, you can hear
Hmm.
in my voice just a difference, and
Yeah, you clearly do not care now.
yeah. Wait, is that a good thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
I believe the word you're looking for is effortless. I don't worry about it. I just do it. I just do it.
You're right.
The camera's on and the showman comes out, as it were.
That's why you're a pro. Teach me, sensei.
Lesson number one. Lesson number one. Have an ego.
I'm gonna work on that.
Right? Imagine everyone listening like it's gospel. Like you're the most
Mm,
important thing in their lives. And then multiply it by 10. And, you know, also they're all
yeah.
naked. Imagine that too.
Oh, okay. That helps.
Yeah. They're all naked.
I feel better already.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, just do it basically.
One thing I like to remember when I'm doing like public speaking is not like the visualizing everybody naked, which I'm sure would work, but also be quite distracting. Is that I'd like to remember that we're all monkeys, just from the animal kingdom. So I like to, just visualize everybody as just very smart, good-looking monkeys, and it helps.
So your trick is to imagine that you've suddenly went into Planet of the Apes and
Yeah,
everyone's just sitting there and okay, all right,
yep.
that's a tactic.
It
Um,
works for me.
I mean, I'm joking about
I
all
mean, would
these
you
things,
like
but
feel nervous giving a speech to a group of dogs? No.
I suppose
Or
that's true.
like, Yeah.
But I wouldn't
Or other monkeys, primates.
probably. I mean, if I was thrown into a situation to speak about something I didn't know about, I'd feel nervous. But like, if let's say we ever went to a con and we had an audience and we were going to do like a panel or a show live in front of an
Hmm.
audience, I don't think I'd be that nervous for that. I feel like it would just feed my ego more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I usually do okay in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
Just not on camera. On camera, I get nervous because I feel stupid.
Well, here's the trick. I've
Mhm.
just made peace with being stupid, and that's fine. Just go for it. Just
I'm
go
getting
for it.
there.
All right. People at home love you, not as much as me, of course, but they
Mm.
love you. Um, uh,
Thanks for your continuous support and not firing me.
well, there's been a couple of close calls. I'm not going to lie.
There have been,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yes. We don't talk about the incident on June 14th ever.
Oh yeah. I'm glad you cut all that out. That got real violent.
Yeah, you were busted open.
Yeah. Nobody will ever see it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I used to have a fourth cat, but didn't survive that night.
No. My rage was felt through the computer, through the internet. At least I had some, passion about a subject.
That's true. That's true. And
But
because
sorry about Mr. Wiggles.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was going to crack a joke there and say it was synchronized swimming, but yeah. Why did they do it? Why did they synchronize it? What's the point? Oh dear. They're definitely getting a dollar's worth now. This has been nothing but nonsense for like 15 minutes now.
Yeah, a little bit of honesty.
A little bit honest.
And some parts were made up. See if you could figure out which ones.
I mean, almost all of it was made up. There was a little bit of honesty about you feeling nervous on camera, and that was, and about I was just talking about the show. But other than that, it was nothing but
Mm.
nonsense. Um,
Sorry
yeah,
about the movie, guys.
yeah,
It's not very good.
I know. No, no, but no. Tara's doing well. She's she was. I remember the first night we recorded Twilight Zone, which was the first thing she ever did. She was really
I was
nervous.
so nervous.
I kind of had to sit and just because we sit and talk for a while first because the idea was that well she's never spoken to me before. She used to get used to talking to me, build up a bit of chemistry
Yeah,
because that's how conversations work. Um, and it went well enough that I didn't say never come back.
that's
And
true.
a month and a half later, it was, hey, do you want to do sci? Because we kept talking about sci-fi movies anyway. It was like that was what the conversation always turned to.
Mm.
Um, between recording, like switches being thrown on and off. So no, things are going well, and I've
Yeah,
I've roped Tara here into Babylon 5. So you know she's one of the regular fuzzers now, and
that's it. Yeah,
yeah. So
you're stuck with me.
I mean,
All of you.
it could be worse. I could be stuck with Connor.
Oh,
Shit.
is he going somewhere?
What I'm saying is I've already had worse, so this is
Okay.
a cakewalk, cakewalk, cakewalk.
I mean, I know I've sort of been replacing him in some shows, but that was never my intention.
Oh, it's my attention. Don't you worry. There's a plan. There's a plan in place. Nah, you kid. No,
Everything's going exactly as planned.
yeah, me and Connor have been recording tons of TV stuff recently. There's been no influx for like a month and a half. Star Trek took a break, although it's back now. Everyone should be happy to hear. Um,
I am.
yeah, you are. Yeah, that's your favorite. I was talking about Star Trek's Tara's favorite. Uh,
It's fun to listen to newbies talk about it because all I ever talk to are fans.
mm, at the conventions.
Yeah, I've been to those.
Oh,
My dad used to take me when I was a kid.
that's adorable.
Mhm.
That's so adorable. Did you have little Vulcan ears one year, maybe? Or
No,
something?
we never dressed up.
Never dressed up.
Yeah,
Oh well.
but I did get to meet like almost all of the original cast.
Whoa.
Hmm.
Wow.
Just over the years.
That's kind of impressive. I mean, you can't do that with now. Too many of them have passed away.
No, I got to meet Bones, who was my favorite. as a kid. I liked angry, bitter people, I guess.
That's pretty good. Well, clearly that's why you're a fan of our content. Jesus.
Hmm.
I connect to
Yeah,
bones. I
you
connect.
never know where your influence comes from.
Someone just said the vampires in this movie should be like, damn it, Jim, I'm a vampire, not a zombie. Or a kung fu master.
Uh,
I don't know. I don't
so
know.
much kung fu. That
Uh,
was such a surprise.
so yeah, just to wrap this round back to the show itself. Yeah, so show's going well. It's not going anywhere. This is a long term commitment. And we'll keep working on Mr. Science Theater. We've added in the news to the Screams episodes just starting this week at the time of recording, and I would like to do that with this. Sci-fi's a harder like there's so many sites that are devoted to just doing horror movie news that I can just look at. Sci-fi is like mixed in with everything. It's
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
think that's more just movie news
Yeah, it is. It's
when you
weird.
get it. And I don't know, do we really need to make our show longer?
No, that's true. But that's why I like having the Mystery Science Theater section because it's the other segment. It's the little we do this too kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you can, I mean, if you want to slow down Mystery Science Theater, we can think of a replacement.
A replacement? No, 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 no. I was just saying it
Yeah.
because sometimes I think maybe we go a little long.
Oh, I love a long show. Long show's
All
great.
right. Never mind then.
Do you know what a
We'll
long
keep
show?
a
Do you know what a long show has, Tara?
hmm.
Multiple ads. That's what a long show.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Got to think about the bottom line. Got to think about the bottom line.
That money.
Yeah. So yeah, tentative plans for a meltdown, which theoretically would be in April, because it would be the anniversary of us starting the show, and also Alien Day would be in that month. So it would be
That's
a
right.
really good excuse to do an Alien movie, wouldn't it?
Hmm.
So that's the plan. That's the plan. And like Screams, we'll do a big classic in the month, reason to start a franchise or whatever. But that's the plan. That said, we've not actually planned to record any of this shit yet, so I mean, we'll see how it goes. TBD could all fall apart.
Yeah, maybe.
Could all fall apart, but plans are in place.
Oh,
But
and you mentioned in the review we did today, but like if anybody wants to like leave questions on the Ace Twitter,
yeah,
we can answer those during the show too.
at the Ace podcast. Actually, someone not emailed, someone YouTube commented on the comics podcast this week saying, "Hey, I'd like to ask questions when you want them, but I don't have Twitter. Is there an alternate way of doing that?" And right now, at the time of recording this, there isn't. But because someone asked that, I think I'll set up an email for people to send in questions
Okay, that'd be cool.
as an alternate. Probably just one email for all shows. So if I do set up an email address for people to send in questions, my only rule would be in the topic heading, just put what show it's for. Like just put this is for Ace, this is for comics from the multiverse, this is for Screams After Midnight, whatever.
Hmm.
So just so I can actually see which ones I'm looking at for questions. But I'll set that up because I think that's a good idea for people who don't use Twitter and want to ask questions.
Yeah, I don't use that cesspool
Yeah,
of a website.
yes, but you can literally message me directly and ask me a question.
I can.
So you don't need to
I
use
have that
email.
power
You have that
as a
power.
co-host.
Yes, as a co-host, you have gained many privileges. One is direct messaging, and two is maybe hearing complaints about Connor occasionally. Maybe
Never.
maybe frequently.
I
Maybe
like Connor.
every other day. No, I'm not saying you're
The
complaining.
complaints don't come from me.
I'm saying I'm complaining about him. But yeah, so those are plans in place. So yeah, we'd love to answer some questions and things. We are actually one more thing we're planning before we go. Oh, this is the last thing we'll talk about. Is we are planning on doing our first countdown of some kind. In
Oh, yeah.
near future. We've talked about that. And I think because of that, we're going to try and sneak in some specific movies to kind of fill in some blanks in our own, not well, mainly Tara's, to be honest. I've seen all these movies, but we're thinking of doing a top 10 time travel movie list, and the plan is to sneak in some movies that Tara's not seen over the course of the next couple of months, and then we can do a more definitive pair of top 10 time travel movie lists. Now, we won't do every big time
I
travel.
still want to do top 10 robots.
Oh, we can do top 10 robots. That's a great idea. That can be list number 2. If I'll make an executive decision here. I think the first big list we will do our top sci-fi movies, like total, right? Top 50 sci-fi
Hmm.
movies. We'll do that in our first meltdown month. Like that,
Okay,
because that's what we did in Screams with our top 100. Is we
that'd be good.
did that meltdown
Plus,
month.
it'd be a good one to revisit eventually too, after we watch so many more.
Yeah, it could be a yearly thing. It could be okay. Our top 50 sci-fi movies 20. I guess it'll be 2020. I guess by the time we do it.
I mean, I doubt that my top 10 will change very much. Although, who knows? I mean, I
Who knows?
gave Dave the Earth still a 10 out of 10, and that's definitely on my top 10 list.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so that's a plan. There's a bunch of time travel movies that will probably pop up, sprinkled through other things. I might even change the schedule a little bit to squeeze them in because we hadn't done that yet.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that's the thing. So hopefully you enjoyed some, meta show chat at the end there, with some jokes and whatever, just to make you feel like you're getting your money's worth on this episode. Didn't want to be a shorty, especially since some
Yeah,
of the regular
this
episodes are.
turned into a mysteries episode.
It did a little bit, didn't it? Didn't it? So no, that's the show. Obviously, I don't have to plug anything because it's the Patreon bonus. You're already on Patreon. You're already supporters, and we love you loads
Thank
for
you.
that. Yeah. So you're the best. You're the best, and no one's ever going to bring you down. So
Oh, so close to getting the lyrics right.
oh dear. Oh, my pen. I went flying. I'll get that after. So that has been your bonus for the month of what we on July.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you very much for being patrons. Thank you very much for watching, or listening. We love you
It's
loads.
just, we're June.
It's June, not July. Is it? No, it's July. July
Wait.
4th happened.
Oh, yeah, it is July. I really need a job. All my days are just kind of blurring together.
July 4th happened. Jesus.
Oh, boy.
Okay, on that
Edit
note.
that out.
Oh, no, that was pretty funny. I think that should stay in. We'll have a discussion off air. That has been your bonus episode for the month of July. Thank you very much for watching. We always appreciate it. And keep watching sci-fi movies and computer and salsa.
Yum, yum.